Patrick Peterson has called out Daniel Jones and says he cannot read a defense. We're going to react to the comments that he had to say on his podcast. All things covered right around the corner. But first, let's just make sure Patrick Peterson remembers one thing. 31-24. 31-24. If you don't know what that is, that was the score of the wild card matchup back in 2022 where the Giants beat Patrick Peterson with Daniel Jones under center. Let's just make sure he remembers 31-24 in the comments right now. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and I'm sure everybody has seen the quotes from Patrick Peterson on Daniel Jones and really the lack of skill that Jones has, according to Patrick Peterson. If not, here they are. He says, quote, "I had an opportunity to play against Daniel Jones a couple of times. Ain't nothing impressive about him to a defense. He's big and strong, but he hasn't shown us arm talent, like crazy arm talent. He's shown an inability to read defenses quickly, to get the ball out quickly, and I just think he has a problem dissecting the 11 guys. His process is too slow to excel as a great NFL quarterback. He has talent. He has all the measurables. It's just not coming together on the football field." And I've got a lot of thoughts here on these quotes from Patrick Peterson, but I do find it a little bit funny that Daniel Jones' best game as an NFL quarterback came against Patrick Peterson and the Minnesota Vikings. Let's not forget that Daniel Jones went 24 of 35 in a playoff game on the road for 301 yards. He threw for a touchdown. He had 78 rushing yards, and he was the first player in NFL history with 300-plus passing yards, 2-plus passing TDs, and 70-plus rushing yards in a playoff game. I just find it a little bit funny that Patrick Peterson has all this to say. But did he lie? But did Patrick Peterson lie? It's all connecting dots here and having fun on a Friday as we get closer and closer to training camp. And while it is funny, because Daniel Jones had his best game against Patrick Peterson and the Vikings in the playoffs, I think there's some truth. And honestly, I think Patrick Peterson is speaking facts on this. I know a lot of people are going to be in the comments like, Marshall, Patrick Peterson's no good anymore. He was bad for the Vikings. He got torn up by Isaiah Hodgins. He was bad for the Steelers. And there's a reason that on July 12th, he is not signing with an NFL team. And Patrick Peterson may be cooked. He is not the same great corner he once was. But his football IQ isn't. Your football IQ doesn't get worse as you age in the NFL. It gets better. Just the ability, the quickness, the strength, the speed, the reaction time dies off a little bit. While his talent and his athletic ability may not be at the peak that it once was, his football IQ is still there, and I am going to listen to him when he speaks NFL football, particularly about my quarterback and my organization. Even DJ's biggest fans, like the people that swear by Daniel Jones, that say he's going to be a Hall of Famer, he can lead the Giants to a Super Bowl, this is his team, he's going to get it done this year. Those same people at the very least have to admit that what Peterson said has a small shred of truth. There's a reason that it's year 6 and there's still question marks around Daniel Jones. And there's a lot of reasons for that, right? The Giants haven't set him up for the most success. I get that. Sometimes I thought that Dave Gettleman and Joe Schoen early on did not invest in their investments. And you can blame the offensive line. That's fine. You can blame the lack of talent around him at skill positions. That's fine. He's injured. You could blame it on that. But the facts are the facts. He's had one good season with the New York Giants, and then he's had 4 seasons where it just left you wanting a little bit more production out of your quarterback. Does he process things a little slow? I think so. Does he get locked onto his first reads at time? I think he does that a little bit too much. Go look at the games last year. The interception of Stephon Gilmore in week 1 where he's rolling out of the right to the pocket and he could have just thrown it away. What about the interception he threw to the rookie corner for the Seattle Seahawks in the red zone that went 100 yards the other way for a pick 6? He gets locked on his targets. I don't think he reads defenses all that well, but I do believe that he has enough talent, skill, IQ, work ethic to be a solid quarterback in this league. It's just now or never. Like, we are coming to the end of the road of Daniel Jones and being the quarterback of this organization. It's now or never. Like, it's year 6. You're entering year 2 of your contract. It gets a little bit more cut-friendly after this season. And we've seen through Hard Knocks, the Giants did scouting on every top quarterback at the NFL Combine. They sat down with Caleb Williams. They sat down with Jaden Daniels and J.J. McCarthy and Drake May. Joe Schoen wanted to trade up to number 3, maybe to get Joe Alt, but I'm pretty sure it was to go get a quarterback. They did a lot of work. They gave Drew Lock $5 million when they had an adequate backup in Tommy DeVito, who actually won them 3 games and at times looked better than Daniel Jones last year. The Giants know the time is now. And if you've been watching Hard Knocks, you can see it on Joe Schoen's face, and in specifically the assistant general manager, Brandon Brown, you can see it on his face, that they are running out of patience. And really, not even patience. They are running out of time to keep their job and have Daniel Jones be their quarterback. What's your confidence level in Daniel Jones as the starting quarterback for the Giants entering this season? Scale it 1 to 10. 1, you're not confident. 10, you think he's going to be the Super Bowl MVP. This is like, I went back and watched a video 2 years ago on this channel, and I said it's now or never for Daniel Jones. And then I went back and watched a video last year, and I said it's now or never for Daniel Jones. But I think we're finally at the point where it's actually the truth. It is now or it is never for DJ and Big Blue, because he has a cap hit of $41.6 million in the 2025 NFL season. He doesn't live up to the hype. The Giants are not paying him $41.6 million. They could save $19.3 if they cut him. So a decision on his future with this team will be made by Joe Schoen following the NFL season. He's got a lot of people to prove wrong. He could prove me wrong. I want him to prove me wrong. That means the Giants are going to win football games. And he was asked earlier in the Giants' offseason activities, do you got a chip on your shoulder knowing the Giants were looking to go and draft a quarterback or trade up to get one? And I loved his answer. He said this, I'm focused on what I need to do. That's part of it. I'm focused on playing the best football I can play. I'm always motivated. I consider myself a driven guy. I'm always going to work as hard as I possibly can. How it exactly happened and whatnot, I'm not sure I know. And I'm not sure you know. At the end of the day, I'm focused on playing good football. I want to see a pissed off Daniel Jones this year. I want to see a guy going on a revenge tour. A guy that when he beats somebody, be like, proved you wrong, proved you wrong. The guy on YouTube with a widow's peak proved you wrong. I want him to go around proving people wrong. Because we saw him play pissed off and play with a chip on his shoulder in that 2022 season where the New York Giants won a playoff game and beat Patrick Peterson. But I felt like I didn't see that same dog, that same intensity, that same fire. I didn't see the chips stacked on top of his shoulder in 2023, 2024 when he signed that deal to give him $100+ million. I want to see him pissed off, and I want to see him be successful. And I do believe that he's got a pretty good shot to do that this year because the Giants have made some reinforcements at positions of need like the offensive line. They went out and signed Jermaine Illuminor. Whether I agree or not that he's a right tackle versus a left guard, I'll let you all decide, but I like the assigning of him. John Runyon, I like the addition of him. I think he's a better left guard than right guard, but that's for the coaches to decide. They even went out and signed some veteran backup interior offensive linemen. Brought in Stinney, brought in Schlottman. That's 4 free agents that have produced at a pretty decent level in the NFL. So the offensive line should be better, right? And Evan Neal can't be worse than he was last year. And if he is, he'll be benched and Illuminor will go to right tackle and Stinney will slide into the left guard. So you've got more talent on the offensive line. And he's got more talent at the receiver position than I think he ever has in his life. Malik Neighbors in week 1, actually in preseason week 1, will be the best receiver Daniel Jones has ever thrown to. Because right now, that spot is held by Golden Tate. And all the respect in the world for Golden Tate, he ain't Malik Neighbors. Darius Slayton, a good number 2. Can Jalen Hyatt in his second season, the former third-round pick, continue to elevate and be a guy that takes the top off the defense? And Wan'Dale Robinson, entering year 3, former second-round pick, he produced at a really high level last year. He's great in the slot. He can create separation. He can get open, north and south, eat green grass up after he makes the catch. You got 4 guys right there that all have good talent. And you still got Hodgins and maybe Allen Robinson and maybe some other people. You got more offensive line help. You got more talent around you. The time to do it is now. And he's starting to look healthy as well. Shout out to QB School is, I believe, the account that posted this. Just want to get that exactly right. I believe it is QB School. But they posted a video of him working out. I shared it to my Twitter. Go check it out. We can't show it on the show, but you can go watch the video on Twitter. He's moving around in the pocket. He's running around, finding ways to continue to increase the mobility and strength of that knee. And he looks really good. It's QB Country is the Twitter account. I apologize for that. QB Country. Check him out. Video's awesome. It's on my Twitter. Everybody that retweets it, I'm going to give you a follow back. He looks good. Hopefully he can do it in week 1. We'll be back later with another video. So subscribe and turn your notifications on.